and tired of people telling us that we can't worship God. We need to be sick and tired. We don't need to care about what somebody thinks about me if I worship God. And I get in the Spirit, and I begin to jerk and tremble and fall on the floor in the Spirit. Who cares? Who sees me?
Amen.
God sees me. That's all that matters. Amen.
Come on.
Amen. God commands us to worship Him in spirit and in truth. We need to want to worship God in spirit and in truth. And so you see, they began to call out to God. God heard their cry. Amen. If God sees somebody that really wants to worship Him, He'll make a way for you to worship Him. Did you know that? No devil in hell can hold your worship back. If God sees you want to worship Him, brother, He'll make a way for you to worship Him. Amen. He will always make a way. And so God spoke to Moses. You know, Moses lived in Egypt right there, in the midst of all the bondage. And God called Moses out of Egypt and sent him and gave him a burden for the people of God. And put a burden. He even killed some of the Egyptians because they were beating his own people. Amen. And so he went into the land of Midian. Y'all know the whole story. And God called him up on the mountain. And He said, go tell Pharaoh to let my people go.
Yes. Amen.
And so he didn't want to do that. You know, sometimes we don't want to do what God tells us to do.
Come on.
But sometimes, if we'll be obedient unto God, you'll see some people set free.
Amen.
If you'll be obedient unto God, you'll see some things happen. Amen?
Yeah.
Y'all agree with that? Amen? Things ain't happening because people ain't being obedient to God. Amen? Brother David, I saw you worshiping just a minute ago. Do you know what that did for me? You blessed my soul.
Yes.
That rubbed off on me. That jumped off on me.
Yes.
If you'll worship God, some people will get set free.
Amen.
Because what you got to jump off on somebody else.
Yeah.
I promise you it will.
Amen.
And so Moses heeded the call. Even though he had to go get his brother to speak for him. Because he didn't feel like he was worthy. And he went into Egypt. And he told Pharaoh to let my people go.
Yes.
Let me tell you what happens sometimes in the church when people want to be set free. And a word is spoken over your life. And you receive a word from a prophet of God, and he says, let my people go. And he sees the hold that the devil has upon you. You know what the devil's going to do? He's going to clutch down even harder on you.
Yes.
He said, I do not know your God. Neither will I let your people go.
Yeah.
You see, that's what's going to happen. That's the first thing the devil's going to do. He's not going to want to let you go. And then whenever you feel like you're about to get delivered, guess what? He will start putting more things in your way.
Right.
I'm telling y'all the truth here.
Amen.
I'm telling you the truth. You know why do most people lay out of public worship? Because as soon as God knows, as soon as the devil knows that God's about to do a mighty deliverance on you, he will begin to cause you to be busier than ever.
Amen.
Hey, what happened? As soon as he was told to let God's people go, he began to afflict them with more work.
Yeah.
He took their straw from them. And the little bit of time that they had to worship God, they had to go and gather straw, brother.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
You got to be careful. The devil is trying to rob your worship time.
Amen.
And you will not be in God's house if you take heed to the devil.
That's right.
I'm telling you the truth here. And so they became busier than ever.
Yes.
Busier. Isn't that what's happening today?
That's right.
How come you work in church? Well, you know, I got to work this job and I got to work that job. I got to make ends meet. That's not faith in God.
That's
That's
right.
right.
I mean, if you got to work 7 days a week in order to make ends meet, you're not having faith in God.
That's right.
Amen?
Come on, bro.
Come on, I know I'm telling the truth here.
Amen, bro.
If you can't take 1 day out of 7 and worship God,
That's right.
then the devil's got a hold on you.
Amen.
You're bound. Amen?
Come on.
You are bound. So please don't bring that excuse to me. That goes in one ear and goes out the other. Because that's just an excuse. God won't accept that excuse on Judgment Day.
Amen, bro.
Amen. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth. The devil wants you so bad. He don't want to let you go. How many plagues did God put upon Egypt? Y'all remember? Was it 9? It was 9 plagues, wasn't it? All of those plagues. And the devil was about, Pharaoh, which is the type of Satan. Y'all agree with that?
Amen.
Did not want to let God's people go.